was my first investigation into the images revealed by tracing the outlines of patterns which I found in nature. These images began with my photographing the engraved remnants of wood boring and bark beetle galleries found on tree trunks in the local woods. Perhaps you have seen these yourself on dead trees in the woods. To obtain just the linear essence of the tracks, I traced the forms by hand and digitally. I propose that this process of simplifying what is being considered literally draws out information, which, though present in the photograph, is not obvious. It encourages contemplation of the form, the outline of the path, rather than the object it was obtained from, the tree trunk. I see the beetle tracks as calligraphic characters from an unknown language, hence the title Glyphs. Of course, they don't have individual specific meanings like, say, a Chinese character might have. The beetle galleries wander, but their paths form linear calligraphic marks such as might be seen in an ancient manuscript. First, I printed the outlines on thin Japanese tissue. Then, I used a paper drill, a bookbinding tool, to create a repetitive lace pattern of holes surrounding the outlines. These holes refer to the many bites the larvae take to create the patterns. Finally, I applied metallic mica powder inside the outlines, similar to gilding in illuminated manuscripts. The holes look black because the finished work is presented on black paper backing, which is visible through the holes. The intent was to create fragile pieces of tissue paper, recalling preserved fragments of old documents. After I made a number of the glyph document pieces based on the beetle outlines, I conceived the idea of the glyphs as larger metallic objects. I imagined the kind of ceremonial artifacts which might have been carried symbolically in a procession. I enlarged the outlines of the beetle galleries onto plywood, which I cut out and then covered with multiple layers of patinated copper leaf. After I began photographing these patterns, I started to learn more about the insects that made them. I found out that millions of acres across the U.S. are affected by the damage caused by these beetles, though they are more common in the West. Reports indicate that the warming climate has increased the extent and severity of the infestation. Winters are not so cold, enabling more beetles to survive. Summers are longer, allowing the beetles to fly farther and expand their range. Higher altitudes are warmer, giving the beetles access to new tree species that don't have natural defenses against them. One of the things I learned, which you can notice for yourself in the exhibit, was the difference between the paths of the wood-boring beetles and the bark beetles. The wood-boring beetles produce trails which seem to wander more or less randomly. The bark beetles have a central gallery where their eggs are laid, and when the larvae hatch, they burrow out, making paths that get larger as the larvae grow. When we go into the woods, it's poignant to see the dead trees where there once was a beautiful forest. And yet, there is a certain fascination and beauty to the patterns engraved into the wood by the beetle larvae as they eat beneath the bark. My images present these patterns individually as artifacts, beautiful signatures which, sadly, spell destruction.